Well, Natalie has the challenging assignment of reporting from the beaches of Rio de Janeiro this morning, and as it turns out, she has a very special connection to the city. Right now?
That's right, Meredith. Well, you know, this is the part I think where I get to embarrass myself a little and take a stroll down memory lane. It was 30 years ago when I lived here in Rio, and so much has changed for this country, but especially for that little girl of 8 years old.
The year 1978, my father, who was in the Air Force, was transferred to Rio de Janeiro. For my mother, who's Brazilian, it was a chance to go home and be near her family. My journey begins in Sao Paulo to see my grandmother, Vovó Daria, who is about to turn 90 and just got out of the hospital. I show her my kids, her great-grandsons, whom she's never met. I leave her to rest and will come back later. Next, lunch with my mother's cousin and aunt, Chiaides, who remembers how I was back then.
When you want something, you just had it because nobody could stand you. Saying, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy.
I don't think she remembers that was Patricia, that was my sister.
My family reunion, too short but sweet.
Hi, ching ching, ching ching. Thank you for having me.
Next, a short flight to Rio de Janeiro, about 260 miles east, to revisit where I grew up.
Woo! Rio, I've missed you so. Da, 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 da.
My dad always had his Super 8 ready.
Well, this right here is the building where we used to live, and I guess some things never change. I have great memories. I had 3 birthdays in that apartment, and as you can see, we had incredible views of this area right on the lake, or as we call it, Lagoa. One of my favorite things to do here was roller skate. It was the early 80s, and we all did it. No one's roller skating anymore. But with the best beaches practically in my backyard, the surf and sand of Ipanema and Copacabana were my playground. I spent almost every weekend on the beach. Woo!
My dad, perfecting his focus, got some things right, enamored especially with this country's assets. Next, my old school, the American School of Rio, where I spent 2nd through 4th grades.
Has it changed much?
It hasn't changed very much.
Unfortunately for me, they've kept their records.
Oh my God, yeah. Found me. Not good. Right there. Okay, the only time in my life where I've ever gotten a really bad grade was 3rd grade. It scarred me for life. Mrs. D gave me a D in social studies. She said I was a dreamer.
A visit to Rio wouldn't be complete without seeing the impressive sights of this marvelous city.
I stood in this very spot 30 years ago with my sister. The Christ the Redeemer statue, or Corcovado, is a world-famous landmark and an icon of Rio. And we're going there next. Not to be missed, the spectacular Sugarloaf Mountain, or Pão de Açúcar. The only way up there is this cable car to the tippy top.
There is just too much to see and do, but new memories still to be made.
I left Brazil when I was 10 years old, and one thing I never got to do, but always dreamed of, was this.
Go, 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 faster!
Let's make a postcard for you.
Well, a huge thank you to my pilot there, Rui Mata. He was incredible. Now, this whole trip has been such a thrill, and I can guarantee it's not going to be another 30 years before I come back. Now, Meredith, of course, before I go home, I cannot leave here empty-handed, so I picked up a little something for you. Very little. I'm not sure which is front or back.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna, you might see that on.
Can you believe this?
You might see that on Matt. I don't know about me now.
They call that a man pocket.
Whoa!